Okay, we have learned how to add and subtract decimals, right?
Yes.
We have learned how to multiply and divide decimals by powers of 10. What is a power of 10? 10, 100, 1,000, or 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, 10 to the third power, 10 to the fourth power. We also know that when you add and subtract decimals, what is the very most important rule when you are adding and subtracting decimals? We can think of it. Super, super important that you remember to what, Mia?
Make sure you know where the decimal is.
Line up those decimals. If you have a list of decimals to add or subtract, you have to make sure all the random decimals line up. So we know how to add decimals and we know how to subtract decimals. We are now going to learn how to multiply decimals. It's quite easy, actually, because all you're doing is multiplying two numbers exactly, sorry, put that down, please. You're multiplying decimals exactly how you would multiply them if there were no decimal. That's your first step. Pretend the decimals aren't there. Multiply the numbers as normal. When you get to your answer, then we have one extra step. It's the only extra thing that we need to do. So, first thing is when you multiply, you do not need to line up the decimals. I repeat, you do not need to line up the decimals. You shouldn't line up the decimals. Lining up decimals is a rule for adding and subtracting, not a rule for multiplying and dividing. So we multiply as normal. Let's do it. 5 times 1. 5 times 3.
15.
5 times 4 plus 1.
21.
Then we go to the next step, and to get over to this next place, we put 0 the hero in here and we move over. 2 times 1.
2.
2 times 3.
6.
2 times 4.
8.
Now we go to the next spot over and we need to add 2 0 the hero so that we can get all the way over to this spot. 1 times 1.
1.
1 times 3.
3.
1 times 4.
4.
Now we add them all up and we get 5, 7,
8.
8,
13.
13, and here is our answer. That is all you need to do, except for we can't forget about the decimal because we are in fact multiplying decimals. So how do we know where this decimal is going to be? Right now it looks as if it's a whole number. When you have a whole number, the decimal is currently right here. All right, but we've got these decimals that we've got to deal with. So here's the only rule that you need to learn for today's lesson. When you multiply decimals, you look at your two factors and you add up, you look to see how many places total are after the decimal in your factors. So let's count them. We have this spot is 1. We have this spot is 2. We have this spot is 3. So we have 3 digits that are past the decimal. All you need to do is in your answer, move the decimal point over once, twice, 3 times, and our decimal point goes right there. And that's it. One of the easiest math lessons you will see all year. If you know how to multiply, which you already do, then all you do is add up these spots and move over the decimal point. Capiche? Let's try some. I would like you to open up your books to lesson 12-7, and I would like you to do the more practice. How many problems do we have there? Actually,
There's no more practice.
let's do 12-7, the homework. Since tonight you won't have homework, let's do 12-7, all 10 problems. I want to see how many of those 10 that you can get correct.